team right now?
Well, Fournier, obviously a great scorer, averaging almost 19 points a game. And, he stretches the floor. He'll give Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown opportunities to attack and play one-on-one ISO basketball, because if Evan Fournier is on the floor, you are not leaving him. He's a deadly threat from three-point range. He also can handle in pick-and-roll situations. I think he fills the void that Gordon Hayward left when they traded him to Charlotte. So I like the addition. The only thing I will give advice to Evan Fournier is don't try to learn the system, because if you do that, you're going to lose who you are. Go out there, play your game, play off of those other guys, and be a deadly scorer that you are.
So, Channing?
I was going to say, I think he fits in really nice as that big guard. They run that cross screen, down screen, a lot of times with Kemba. But if you watch the Orlando Magic, what he did with Vooch, when he curls that screen, he's such a big guard. He usually has that guy on his hip, and he can get a double team through that down screen. So for me, I also think they can play him off the ball. And when they send these down screens, he's going to be able to create distractions to the defense to allow, like JT said, to allow Jason Tatum to go one-on-one and to allow Jaylen Brown to go one-on-one without the weak side paying attention.
Now, we've seen him ball out. We've seen him do it overseas. We saw him with France. I remember watching him, and I never really had paid attention to his game like I did watching it there. This kid can ball. A lot of people don't know it. There's a lot of talk on the internet. Who is this guy? Why did we pick him up? The Celtics brass, they were not a fan of this selection at first. However, he could be that piece. And Jet, you spoke about it, maybe being that facilitator that can, set up the offense as well as score when they need it, because we know Boston, they've been struggling in that department since they let Hayward go.
Well, when they get to the fourth quarters of games, you'll see what Golden State had going on with their depth lineup. They'll play him in there along with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, maybe Kemba, maybe Marcus Smart, and then who knows what they'll put at the 5. That's their biggest weakness. But I'm telling you right now, big stage, bright lights, right? You're playing in the Boston Celtics uniform. The spotlight is on him now. He put up good numbers in Orlando, but now when the world is watching you on the big stage, are you going to be able to show up and perform? I got to believe so. He plays with a quiet confidence, and he's never shaken. I think he's going to be a great addition.
And quiet as it's kept, I think eventually once the Boston fans see how he plays, I think they're going to gravitate to him and really love how he plays the game of basketball. But we know the star there, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, the two all-stars. Jaylen Brown out tonight. However, Jason Tatum is slated to play. We know he's going to give you 25 a game. This addition right here, Channing, what does this do to help his game?
I think it takes the ease off of him, right? He doesn't have to always have the best defender on him, right? At certain times, I think also defensively, to start Marcus Smart, Evan Fournier, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and let's say Tristan Thompson whenever he comes back, that's a 1 through 5 switching. So when you switch and get out, you have different guys on you. It's not always going to be your best matchup. And this is where Jason Tatum is at his best, taking advantage of mismatches and getting to the hoop. He is an amazing, amazing talent and still has a lot of room to grow. But sometimes I think he settles too much for that step-back jumper. When he can get downhill and create for his teammates, now he has legit shooters on the weak side that can hit that shot, which will allow him to not get double-teamed, which if you can't double-team him, you're going to get 30 ball right in the grill.
So, Jet, looking at the standings, we showed them early. We saw the Celtics are now sitting in that 7th position. Now, we know the Eastern Conference is tight. You could say the teams are, there's parity there. Maybe there's mediocrity. Either way, is it too late for this Celtics team to make a push and maybe get into that top 4?
Not too late to make a push. Obviously, you need all parties involved. You have to have a healthy Jaylen Brown mixed in with Fournier. You need Kemba Walker shooting the ball and playing well. But for this team, it's defense. I mean, can they get stops when needed most? They're a great home team. They're dominating at home, but also on the road, they got to be better. I mean, these are the dog days. These are the times where elite playoff teams step up and they make their push. Miami did it last year. Can Boston do something similar, solidify their playoff positioning, and then go out and take care of business? I think the addition of Evan Fournier possibly can make that happen for him. Also, let me add this. Jason Tatum this year has been asked to be more of a facilitator. That has taken away from him at times. He's looked a little, hesitant at times trying to pick his spots. Evan Fournier will help him with that. He's a facilitator himself. He can allow Jason to do what he does best, and that's get buckets.
Get buckets and score the basketball. 4 assists per game for Jason Tatum since the All-Star break. Now, for the first time this season, the Boston Celtics will allow fans into the building. They will be at 12% capacity. This is a tweet from Marcus Smart, and you can see, hey, this is probably what the Boston faithful is going to look like once the doors open and they get to enter the Boston Garden.
Oh, yeah, they're going to boo the junk at whoever. Them 1,200 people going to be booing. Right? They're going to have their green beer, where, you know, they're going to have Sam Adams and a clam chowder sandwich, and they're going to be booing.
Speaking on the one and only Zion.
He's an unusual force and obviously a great player. And so, we'll have to figure something a little better out next time. But he's doing this to everybody. They've made a lot of great adjustments to put him in a position, to be a great facilitator. And, it's just it's a real challenge. You gotta have a lot of courage to stand in there and get run over by that guy. This is a Shaquille O'Neal type force of nature with a point guard skill set.
Consecutive games scoring 20 points on 50% or better shooting. You see Wilt Chamberlain, Karl Malone, the big diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Sandwiched between all of them is the one Zion Williamson, the first pick from 2019. So Channing, throwing this at you right now. I mean, the comparison is to Shaquille O'Neal. I need your thoughts.
Well, listen, Shaq was Zion is Zion, but big fella make you rethink I'm playing the wrong sport, man. Listen, Shaq one time hit me. I was like, mama, come get me. I was in a fetal position. He was just too fast, too big, and I got him when they won in Miami in 2005. And I was a rookie, and Isaiah Thomas put me on him. But what makes Zion special is that number one, he's patient, even at his young age, and he trusts his teammate. And then anything underneath the dots, he's just going to explode like a rocket and absolutely break the rim. And I think it's great what Stan is doing, and not just having him stand, they're moving him around. But right here, look at this. He takes one dribble, it just explodes over 2 people, and nobody wants none of that business. Right? And right here, if you continue to back up, he's just going to get ahead of steam like a train, and there's nothing you could do. But his best skill is his passing, which makes him one of the most dangerous guys on the court. He's not relying on his jumper this year. He's attacking the rack like a monster. Right here, he just cruising to the corner almost. And most guys that would have settled for a 3, he goes to the rack. He knows where he's going to eat, and he goes right to the paint, and he's absolutely dogging grown men. It's hilarious to watch. It's exciting to watch. And I think the Pelicans are the team of the future once they figure out how to close out end of games.
Yeah, he's definitely been playing bully ball when it comes to getting in the rim. Physically dominant. Jet, what are your thoughts on him being the facilitator so far this season? What have you seen and what do you like?
Well, they want to compare him to Shaq, but, I mean, obviously, when I look at Zion Williamson, he reminds me a lot of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, my God.
Bless you.
Let me tell you, the 2-time MVP. That's what he reminds me of, the Greek freak. Because all his baskets come in the paint, and he understands that. He's not trying to settle for jump shots. He's going to punish you in the paint, and he's physical, and he's big, and he's nasty, but he also has the ability to facilitate and make his teammates better. And he's not selfish. Like, he's a good basketball player, and it's not just brute force, because he does mix it in, and he loves to make that extra pass. That's why I like Zion Williamson. He's going to be a star for years to come in this league. The biggest question mark for Zion coming in, were his knees going to be able to hold up? He's only playing about 32 minutes a night, so Stan and staff is doing a great job of managing those minutes, but he's very productive in the minutes he plays.
Channing, you talked about being able to close games. We know what Zion can do. However, his running mate, Brandon Ingram, he's shown that capability that he can stroke it with the best of them. He's silky smooth. He can get to the rim whenever he wants. But his ability to close, what have you seen so far from Brandon Ingram that you like?
Well, I just think they're a young team still trying to figure out who they are and who's going to take the last shot. And I think Brandon is that guy. He is that closer. He's the D-Wade to Shaq. He's the Kyrie to LeBron. And so for me, sometimes it's just their spacing. They're so excited to win this game, and they want to win it, right? And they put themselves in that opportunity. I think the other game, they just didn't run the play right out of bounds. And so those things happen. But for me, they're 2-5 with games decided by 3 points or less. If they had won just 2 of those 5 games that they lost, they'd be in the 8th or 9th spot. So for me, this team is very dangerous and could go on a 5 or 6 game winning streak. Once they get it together, once they see the film and continue to grow, this team is going to be dangerous. And I don't think anybody at the top wants to see Zion in a playoff game where you could be even more physical with him and the big gigantor, Steven Adams.
Said playoff game, they're right in position to be in the play-in game. We have the 10th spot highlighted, seed 10, 9, 8, 7. Those are the seeds that will be in the play-in tournament. So can't wait to see this. You get to see Zion, Brandon Ingram tonight taking on the Boston Celtics. So that's what's popping tonight. But also, we got some big news out of Los Angeles because you know what's going on. Andre Drummond has joined the Lakers. Say what you say. Now give me that bomb beat from Dre. 30 p.m. with the CarMax pregame. Andre Drummond, 8 seasons, averaging 13 or more rebounds. Only 6 players have done that in NBA history. He has reached an agreement with the Lakers. The buyout is complete with the Cavs. And we hear from both Andre and his coach.
Laker Nation, it is Andre Drummond. Hope you guys are all well. I am so excited to be here and hopefully get to see you guys in the stands soon. Just blessed and honored to be here and help this team get back to a championship run again. And stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. It'll be a real good one.
Yeah, we're thrilled. We're all thrilled to add Andre Drummond, a player of his caliber, to our team. He's one of the best centers in the league, someone that every defensive coordinator is going to have to account for and to figure out how to handle him while they're trying to slow down AD and Bron and our guards. And, I think he's going to give us a big lift in the immediate future. And then obviously, when we get going, he's just one of those guys that can dominate the game on both sides of the ball. And, his physicality is something you have to count for.
Jason Terry and Channing back with us right here as we get things ready on the pregame. We heard Frank Vogel. Now let's just take a look down the line into the future, Channing. When you have this lineup defensively, a front line of AD, LeBron, and Andre Drummond, defensively, what type of problems is that going to pose once the Lakers are back closer to 100%?
That's a big problem. That's a big problem. AD, who should have been Defensive Player of the Year, obviously no disrespect to Giannis. LeBron, who was in the running this year before he hurt his ankle, Defensive Player of the Year. And that big man, Andre Drummond, who moves his feet like a cat. Okay? Not a lot of people have watched a lot of the Cavs, but I have. But so for me, I've seen what he could do when he's motivated and ready to go. He's physical. He can pass the ball. And for me, you're going to get that LA Laker, LeBron, AD effect. When it's time to win a championship, you simplify your game for the betterment of the team, right? You notice KCP, Kuzma, Montrez, Dennis Schroeder, all sacrifice. So when he gets into that culture, he's going to be that player that everyone thinks that he is. Or if not, they're going to get him up out of there because they got other stuff. So for me, if you could get Andre Drummond that's getting extra possessions, blocking shots, you could switch 1 through 5, it's going to make you tough. It's going to be tough. And for Frank Vogel, he's going to have the option to go big with AD or even bigger with Drummond. Now, that gives you a lot of leeway in the playoffs.
Yes, it does in the playoffs. All right, Jason, let's bring it back present day. You don't have your 2 primary options in the lineup. LeBron is out. AD is out. We know that Drummond can score. You rarely have to run plays for him. He gives you 17 and 13. What does he do immediately for this Lakers team that are currently sitting in the 4th spot in the West?
Well, immediately he solidifies the big position for them. Obviously losing Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee last year, who were instrumental in the success on the defensive end for those two. You get those 2 players in one guy. Also, I'll add this. Shannon talked about his quick feet. He has quick hands as well. For his last 8 years as he's been in the league, he's led centers in steals. Those are easy opportunities, defense to offense, that he's going to be able to create for that team. And you better watch out. These Lakers just keep reloading. When they're healthy, they're the team to beat. The road to the championship always goes through the champion. And now that they've added Drummond, nothing's changed.
Strong words like that. I like that. We'll see what happens. We know, LeBron has been missing. He's going to be out at least another 4 to 6 weeks for that right ankle injury. And so far, we haven't seen anything from AD. So, but Jason Terry himself, he says it. The road still goes through Los Angeles in order to get the champion. And he's a champion. He knows what he's talking about. Take a look at what's going on right now in the NBA. One game underway. You have the Wizards and the Pacers. We're in the first quarter early still. Russell Westbrook still a little bit away from getting a triple-double. He's currently averaging a triple-double, the fourth season that he's done that so far as the Wizards trail.
That's
the
crazy.
Pacers. I mean, it is. I mean, just saying
nobody
that.
talks about it.
Yeah. I mean,
just another season of it.
The Boston Celtics, they are opening their doors for fans for the first time this season. 12% capacity for the Boston faithful who can't wait to get in. And Channing, do what?
Eat their chowder sandwiches.
And what else are they going to do?
Boo the junk. Woo, Boston fans are mean, Doug. I'll tell you that. Boy.
Hey, they're mean, but they're loyal. Jason Terry knows that they're very loyal. For the first time in 386 days, Celtics fans are back in the building. There's Jason Tatum. Now, this is the second matchup of the season with the Pelicans and the Boston Celtics going at it. The last time these two teams played, it was the biggest comeback in Pelicans history. They were down by 24. They go on to win that game in overtime, and it really wasn't a good time for the Boston Celtics. But let's focus on this Pelicans team. And Jet, you talk about them earlier. We talked about how Zion is the main facilitator now. Looking at this team, what is the ceiling for this team for you this season?
Well, I think they're a potential, 8th, 7th seed if they can put it together and make a run. Now that all the talk and chatter about Lonzo Ball being moved on has subsided, he's going to be a part of the team. I just feel like those guys can settle into their roles, they can focus in, and they can go after it. The one thing they have on their side is youth. When you have a young team like this, they're dangerous because this time of year, teams are starting to try to rest players, get ready for the playoffs. So this is a team that's dangerous. They're a high-scoring basketball team, and they're explosive. So on a night like tonight, Boston better strap it up and be ready because Zion's due for another big night coming off 38 against the Mavericks. He could go for 40, 50 tonight if he gets it rolling in the paint.
I love Jason. He comes on. He's already selling. I love it. But he mentioned Lonzo Ball, who's missed the last 4 games. He's questionable tonight with that right hip flexor. He's averaging career highs across the board. 14 points per game. He's shooting the 3-ball better than a lot of all-stars in the league right now. Everybody was critical about his jump shot form and the inability to consistently make the 3. Does he have a future with this Pelicans team, in your opinion?
I think he does. Number one, that kid is talented. And no one ever said that kid doesn't work. And I got a short opportunity to see his work ethic, and he just has so much natural gift. It's pretty amazing. And I think if he does move on, people are going to see him getting even better. But I wouldn't move on from him just yet. He makes the game easy. He's unselfish. He shoots. He makes the right play. And for me, as a guard, he rebounds pretty well. And all that can get better. I think him and Brandon and Zion is a pretty good, nice little core of those 3. Adding Josh Hart, the toughness, the flexibility of him being able to score also and rebound, one of the best guard rebounders in the league. For me, I like the core of this team. I just think they need they just need a hooper who can score off the bench, who can get a bucket.
Interesting. Now, Jason Terry, you played the position at a very high level, being the facilitator, also being able to score. The development of Lonzo Ball's game, being able to shoot better from the 3. Just speak about his development this season and what you've seen.
Well, the downside about our league so often is we're quick to devalue young players because you ask them to go into a role that they're just not comfortable with. Think about Lonzo Ball, his biggest asset. It's with the ball in his hands. When I seen him play as a rookie against Milwaukee, he dropped a triple-double on us. Now, mind you, I was 40 years old trying to play the position in guard. But I could see it then. I mean, his floor vision, his ability to make the pass before the pass, the hockey assist. He's not exhausting his dribble, trying to just get the game-winning assist. He's making his teammates better. And now you're asking him to play off the ball. And what has he done? He's shooting a career high from the 3-point line. This kid is a star. He can run your team. If not here in New Orleans, somewhere else, he's a very valuable asset at the point guard position.
Speaking of a valuable asset, going to the other team, the Boston Celtics, they bring in Evan Fournier from the Orlando Magic, who is a baller in his own right. We spoke about it earlier, but his debut tonight, we know that no Jaylen Brown in the lineup. This kind of opens the door for him to have a little bit more room to work. What do you see happening tonight with him on the floor?
I think he has 12 to 20 points. I don't know who's going to guard him on the New Orleans Pelicans. I think Josh Hart has to be on Jason Tatum. I think, Drew Bledsoe. Good gracious.
Drew Bledsoe. He's
Aaron
a
Bledsoe.
a quarterback that knows.
Shout out Walla Washington, right? And wine game, double back. So for me, I think he's going to really embrace his system. I think he has 12 to 20 points. He's going to get some assists. I think you're going to be shocked at how well he fits in this. Like last night, we're watching Aaron Gordon in Denver. This is a great situation for him.
Now, Jet, is there going to be a pitch count on him, or is Coach just going to let him go ahead and play? What do you see happening in this game?
Well, because this is go time and all these games count, they're going to count on him to play the same amount of minutes he played in Orlando. My thing for him is just mentality. Can you still play on a different team in a new situation with the same mindset of, look, I'm a deadly scorer. I can't forget who I am. And that's going to be very key for him tonight. I got him going double figures. I mean, he's a walking bucket, man, and he plays calm under pressure. They need him to score and score big tonight.
That they do. The Celtics in position where they don't want to be. Nobody saw them being in the 7th seed, including myself. And I'll go ahead and raise my hand. I did pick them at the beginning of the season to make the NBA Finals. I thought that they would make the jump. Maybe a little lofty.
Yeah. Ooh.
Maybe a little lofty. But we'll see. We still have plenty of time remaining. Let's go over some news and notes. Just in case you're paying attention, Steph Curry has been out of the lineup. The Warriors have only won one game since he's been out. He's probable to play tonight against the Bulls. Jeff Teague expected to sign with the Bucks. That's according to reports. And New York Knicks fans, Mitchell Robinson. He had successful surgery to repair a broken foot. He is expected to miss the rest of the season.